Whether it's a job, a relationship, or where you live, how do you know when it's time to make a change? In today's Deep Dive, a segment where we dive deeper into a topic, we explore that question. And more importantly, once you know it's time for a change, what do you do next? Well, I sat down with a woman who uses her own life story and experiences to inspire and equip women to get in the driver's seat of their lives. Like any good teacher, Katrina McGee learned the lesson first herself.
We had a professional crisis at the work that turned into a personal calamity for me. I thought I was having a heart attack and a stroke at the same time, and my face would go numb, my chest would get tight, and I went to the doctor and he's like, no, you're not having a heart attack and stroke, those are anxiety attacks. And I was like, I don't have anxiety attacks, what are you talking about? And he said, yeah, it's anxiety attacks, and you need to take a time out. And I said, well, I can't. He said, but really, you need a life change.
I think most doctors would have just prescribed you an anti-anxiety medication and left it at that.
You know, he did offer me that as an option. He said, I will give you these, but just know you probably will stay on them, because this will become your coping mechanism, not to address what's really happening in your life.
As the Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Susan G. Komen, Katrina found her career fun and fulfilling. It just came at a price.
I was also trying to manage all these other things that really in the grand scheme of things weren't mine to manage. I had made myself general manager of the universe. And
we can relate to that.
Yeah, I was general manager of the universe.
Because it'll fall apart without us, you know.
Exactly, because I must do everything at one time. One of my friends looked at me and said, you know, you really can do anything you want to do. You have a choice. You just need to make it.
And she did. Katrina quit her job and began a journey that led her to today, empowering women around the country through her Loving on Me program. How do you know when it's time to make a change?
First, you hear the message first. Remember, I said mine started with a thought, and we get those messages throughout our life, but we make choices to ignore them because we can't figure out what's next. And so the volume keeps turning up and up and up and up until we can't ignore it, and we're forced to change.
The first step, she says, is listening to what you need.
You have the thought first that questions the circumstance, that makes you look at it different. And that's the step most of us miss because we don't take the time to listen to ourselves or to trust our gut that says this is not in my best interest.
Secondly, find the space between for self-reflection.
What is most important to me? Build a life around that. Most people go from, I can't do this, so what do I do next? And the space in between is the space for self-reflection to say, who do I want to be? How do I want to live? How do I want to operate? God doesn't give you direction until you start to move. Like, you're just sitting there. There's no need for direction. You keep asking for confirmation. He's like, well, you're sitting on the seat. It's all, get up, then I'll tell you where to go.
And three, make a choice.
And sometimes when we can't immediately change the circumstances, we think we don't have any options or we don't have a choice. And that's never true in life. You always have a choice. First, how you will respond. And second, how you choose to look at the circumstances. Because if you shift the way you see things, every challenge presents an opportunity. I am not a proponent of telling everybody to get out of corporate America. I'm not a proponent of telling everybody to quit their jobs. But when you feel like it's time to do something different, or when you aspire for more, to be unafraid, to be confident enough and courageous enough to go for the life you truly want to live versus what everybody said we have to live.
All right, she's certainly inspiring, but it's also about giving you tools. And so she has this free Loving on Me Academy. So if you go to lovingonme.com, you can be part of that.